Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
My husband's family is forcing me to pay off a house loan using the money I saved for my son's future, while my name is not even the deed of the house. Background: I, 34F, have known my husband, 33M, for 15 years, married for 6 years. I met his family 2-3 times only before marriage. He has an older brother, 36M, let's call him G, and younger sister, 27FP. In his family, each and every decision is made by either G or P. They are classic spoiled people who will listen to no one. My way or highway kind of situation. When I married, I tried very hard for them to accept me, but nothing mattered. I was never their family, so I stopped. My so's thinking was do everything for making peace. I was financially stable. In first of marriage, I had a miscarriage which left me and so heartbroken. I left my job for a year. In that time, I got pregnant with my son. Everything was not great, but we put distance between them and us. We live 3 hours away from them now. I am working from home and have stable income. Now the problem started last year in March when we decided to buy a house in the city we live in. I asked my son to not tell anyone about this as I knew something would happen. He told G a week later. He tells me that G and P decided, and now both him and G are buying 2 big family homes in our hometown next to each other. So our plan to buy a house here was not possible now. We argued about it, but it never went anywhere. So I went very low contact and need to know basis after his betrayal. They bought it in May 2020. I was informed via text after they bought it. I was the only one in family who didn't know about this, that now G's land and house is in his and his wife's name, but so's land and house is in his and my Phil's name. They both took loan for this. My FIL is helping to pay loan for G as he doesn't have a stable income. Phil's generous offer was not applicable for my so because according to him he lost this privilege when he moved up so far from my mental health. A week before at family gathering, P suggested that I should help to pay the loan off as they know I have been saving since I first started working and I have saved a lot. As a family, I need to take responsibility. They kept asking me how much do I have when I avoided answering. I snapped and said I am not going to tell them, and whatever it is for my son's future, and I will not let it all go for a house that is not even in my name. They stopped after this for 3-4 days with indirect passive-aggressive comments thrown in my way. I know it's a big loan, and even though so never asked me for my savings, I know he is under a lot of stress to pay it off. Now PG and my mill is hounding me again, saying how could I do this to so when I know he needs help paying it off, and how cruel I am being by refusing. AITA, if I refuse to give all of my savings to pay off this loan when my name is not even on the deed of ownership. Update. It's been almost a month since I shared my problem here. And so many kind Redditors gave me helpful advice. So much has happened since then. I didn't want to face my problems, and frankly, I was too afraid of consequences if I did. I didn't think I had it in me to stand up for myself, but thank you guys, you helped me so much. Now for update. I am so happy to share with you guys that everything's going great for my family. I got excellent financial advice from a lawyer as you suggested. I have secured my financials and made a trust fund for my son. After my last update, my husband didn't contact me for a whole week. He showed up at my parents with the lawyer and papers for the property he bought with my FIL. Turns out my FIL emptied all of his retirement fund to help my BIL. In our culture, son takes all responsibility and care in old age of parents, and as my BIL is not capable to provide, my husband basically blackmailed my FIL that if he didn't transfer ownership rights to husband alone, he won't support his old age care. Not proud. Approved the tactic, but FIL otherwise would not have conceded. He asked me what I want to do with it. Do I want my name on that, or do I want to sell it? We decided to sell the house. The lawyer ensured that the house would sell smoothly without any problems from anyone claiming wrongdoings or fraud. Husband and I are going to couples therapy, and it's going great. He realized his actions have hurt me. He loves me and my son, and he is willing to do everything to rectify our current situation and have my trust back. His words. I am going with the flow right now. I have made it clear that I won't tolerate anything now. He also went NC with this family. The house sold so quickly as it was a prime property. He paid all the loan he had, and we still have sufficient to buy a nice house in the city we live in. I refused to move back to the rental petty, I know. So he shifted with me in my parents' house. We have bought a house, and it will take 6 months for renovation and such, but we will be living in our home in no time. Why? After finding out that the house got sold, my in-laws started harassing me on SM, on PH, and even came to my parents' house. We have blocked everyone and went total NC with this family. My brother is handling improvisation from in-laws. Story 2. 18M just walked in on my girlfriend, 19F, having sex with her gay boy best friend. I'm going to assume he is 18 as well. I don't know what to think right now. I went over to my girlfriend's 18F house to surprise her with a bouquet of flowers and some food. She was home from college for fall break, and she left her house door unlocked, and I walked in on her having sex with her gay boy best friend, probably 18M, on the sofa. I always had suspicions about him because he didn't look gay at all, and not to mention when I met him at one of my GS pageants, he was hanging out with a group of guys who aren't known to treat women in an ethical manner. I'll put it that way, and he didn't look that way either. Almost like a young Al Pacino at the beginning of The Godfather, he dressed like he was from the hood, but he made his voice pitch higher so he could make it more believable that he was gay. But when he said some things to me after I walked in on them having sex, he talked like a hood dude and sounded like Ed Ordrin if you took away the Cajun accent and gave him a Baltimore accent. He stuttered an awful lot, and it was almost hard for him to talk, but he knew what he wanted to say. I didn't bother to fight him because when we talked, he stepped on my feet and held my wrists and just said, "It's your choice if you want to keep her. But if you don't, just hit me up and I'll teach you how to deal with these whores, because each and every one of them are extremely promiscuous. I'm not fighting you over her either," and then jumped into his car and left. I don't know how to feel right now. I've spent an awful lot of my time, energy, and money to keep her happy, and she just goes out and cheats on me with a guy who probably hasn't done shit for her. I don't want to try to continue the relationship with her, but after her lying and cheating on me, I don't know if I can. Story 3. Cheating sneaky link. So I met this guy a year ago and we started off hooking up. We eventually started doing cute things together and I started to catch feelings for him. We decided to make things exclusive. Recently, I told him I wanted to end our friends W benefits situation and I was okay with either ending it or moving forward into something more. He agreed that he was also catching feelings and starting to really like me too. So we decided to continue our relationship and transition out of the FWB situation. We both were really busy with work and school, but always made time for each other on the weekends and anytime we were free. It was going great, but I did notice he wasn't 100% in it emotionally. He wasn't very vulnerable with me or smothering me. I saw this as a green flag since I was so used to men love bombing me quickly in relationships. So this past weekend, we went out together with some of my friends. We ended up taking some pictures, and one of my friends posted a group photo and tagged all of us. A few days later, I received a DM from a girl I've never met or had mutuals with. She lived in a completely different state. She sent me the group photo we took this weekend and asked me if her boyfriend and I had anything going on since he tried to hide the photo from her. I was so shook. So I sent her all the proof of me and him together for the past year. I had no clue that he had a girlfriend this entire time. I have been cheated on in the past, but I have never been the other girl in the situation. I'm trying to process everything, but it makes it difficult since I felt what we had was real, and he wants to start over. He claims that it was because I always said I wasn't ready for a relationship and I was dating multiple people.